Oh my God, you guys come and sit down and shut the door. There is another crazy update coming from the Coldplay couple. You know, the people that the whole, at least America, but I'm about to say the world knows what happened at the Cowboy Play concert. Now, here's the thing. A lot of people were looking at the CEO saying, "Oh my God, are you that stupid? You had to resign from your position as CEO. Your wife is about to take you for half of everything you own because there was no prenup." Literally, the head of HR was hugged up with you. I do want to say one thing, right? How hugged up were those people and swaying and looking and love that out of a concert with 50,000 people. The people with the light looked and said, them embody everything we feel whenever we hear Yellow from Coldplay. But forget all that because, baby, there is a new big loser.
Present,
Y'all,
and no
do you
longer
know
has a
that the woman
voice who
that
will
was hugged
pursue
up with the
justice for her
CEO,
accusation.
do you know that she just
As of the
married
Aiken
into the
against Diddy,
oldest and wealthiest
no expansion
family
of the
in Boston?
investigation,
They're
no
worth
isolation
about
orders,
50. Do you know
no
that
equipment
she
access,
fumbled
no suspension of
generational
attorney
wealth?
communication.
She fumbled a legacy. And what's more, she exposed herself as maybe a shameless little hussy. Because here's the thing, we're about to get into what her family's history is. And by family, I use that term loosely because those divorce papers are on there. And I am sure there are plenty of mistresses waiting in the wings. Because one thing we know about old money families, baby, old money means you can get a new mistress wherever you want. You've all heard that the upper crust likes to swap and turn. Do you not know that you need to cheat and 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 do it respectfully? The hell is wrong with this woman? And she's about to be unemployed. She is out on, so that means they just wait until they can fire her. So she can't. Her husband's about to kick her out. And on top of that, the one thing old money families fear is public shame and humiliation. And she bought that all. Y'all, let's get into this because honestly, I truly don't understand. But let me tell you about Miss Cat. And I use that term loosely because she's probably gonna snatch that last name from her. You know that she's only been married into that family since somewhere around 2022, maybe even 2023. Okay, so you haven't even been married long enough to get any real money in any type of spousal support. And usually old money families, their prenups are ironclad. Do you know what I'm saying? So I think she's probably gonna leave penniless. On top of that, I think the family is really upset and they might be trying to destroy her. But get this. Do you know how she met her husband? Right? So she was married to another man in 2020 while she was married to another man. She literally started joining the advisory board for privateer rum. That's how this family makes their money. The alcohol brand, right? But 6 generations in, she literally started as the advisory board in pirate rum. Now, something happened with that marriage and she decided to file for divorce. And then very soon after filing for divorce in 2022, I believe in 2023, she married one of the heirs to the privateer rum fortune. Now, after she got married, right, she went on to do her own thing. She wanted independence. So what did she do? She went into astronomer, whatever that company is, and she started as the H of the head of HR. And what did she do? She started sleeping. Well, I assume they're sleeping together. They're definitely hugged up. She started going to romantic Coldplay concerts and being hugged up with the CEO. Now, we do not know the nature of their relationship. They look like they were very cozy. And as Chris Martin said, they're either really shy or they're having an affair. But all jokes aside, this woman fumbled the bag so much. I think she might
Present,
have a
and no
mental
longer
illness.
has a voice
I
who will
don't
pursue
understand.
justice for her
Why did she do
accusation.
it though? Why did she do it?
As of the Aiken
Did he
against
cheat
Diddy,
on her and
no
she wanted
expansion
to
of the
fill P.S.?
investigation,
Why did you just
no
got
isolation
married?
orders, no
You
equipment
should still be
access,
in the
no
newly glow. What
suspension
is
of attorney
going on?
communication.
You got divorced in 2022 after being on the advisory board and catching that CEO's attention, who was the one of the heirs to the fortune. And now you're with a new company, a new CEO, but up to your old tricks. Girl, Lil Hussy, we got your number. Y'all, let's get into this because I swear you cannot make this up. On top of that, I will say one thing. She is done with that family. 'Cause I was like, well, maybe her husband is like forgiving. Maybe he's like, we'll work this out as a family. No, because this is directly from the New York Post. They said the HR exempt and Coldplay cheating scandal married into one of the oldest, wealthiest families in Boston. The Cabots speak only to God was the actual quote. Now I don't know much about Boston. I don't know much about the Cabots, and far be it from me to want to disgrace their legacy. But do you think that the Cabots were the ones that gave all this information to the New York Post? Because who the hell is walking down Southeast and South in Boston, and somebody's like, hey, do you know the cabbage? Yeah. But they only see the cab. I can't even do a Boston accent. The cabbage only speak to God. You really expect us to believe anybody in Boston is walking around saying that? Cabbage, shut up. I got it. I guess. Anyway, they said she married into one of the oldest and wealthiest families in Boston. Where is it? The allegedly jilted husband touts his family lineage as a sixth-generation owner of the long-standing rum brand, founded by the original Andrew Catt. Does anybody drink Cabot rum? I'm not a rum drinker. I don't really unless it's unless it's like a name that like I've known for a while, but I don't know, it sounds familiar. You know, when I first heard her last name was Cabot, I was like, the butter for Cabot, criticize. And everybody was like, no dummy, the rum baron. I literally thought it was Cabot. Curry's like, you know, the butter they sell at Costco's. I said the butters. Oh my God, but you know, that's why you gotta do your research anyway, right? They said the Cabot fortune has transcended generations and was estimated 200 million. That's 15.4 billion in 2020. One thing she can do, because people like to listen to anyone, she should go on TikTok and tell how she bagged not one but two seats. Something tells me, even though she is still using her profile pic for 20 years ago, they both work, 'cause when you look at their old work profile pics, and I don't know what was she doing. I don't even want to know what she was doing. Anyway, they said Kristin, sorry guys. They said Kristin, her now deleted LinkedIn account showed that she has served as an advisory board member at Privateer One. See, September 2020. That's probably how she met her husband. Property records showed that they bought a $2.2 million house on the New Hampshire coast. Damn. Earlier this year, the Cabot family is one of the original Boston Brahmin clans that controlled New England for centuries. A club so old, waspy, and distinguished that the Irish Catholic Kennedys are left out in the cold. Okay, so clearly her husband gave this, because why are you giving us your family lore? But we love to see it. The family made its fortune
present
in suit,
and no longer
known
has a
colloquially
voice
in
who will
industry
pursue
circles
justice
as
for her
black as
accusation.
carbon. Black, a
As
key
of the taken
ingredient
against
in
Diddy,
car tires,
no
and
expansion
dates
of the
back to New
investigation,
England for 10
no isolation
generations.
orders,
The
no
family
equipment
members have been
access,
behind a
no
slew of
suspension of
businesses
attorney
across New
communication.
England, including a run company. The family patriarch Samuel kickstarted the family's fortune by marrying Elisa Perkins, the daughter of a wealthy merchant trainer. Okay, he clearly gave this background info, but the family is so well known in Boston. It's said locally that the Cabbage speak only to God, as a local poem goes. And this is good old Boston, the home of the bean and the cod, where the lost talk only to the cabs and the cabs talk only to the god. The Cabbage of yesteryear were seafarers of merchants who took in the slave and opium trade in the early 19th century. I knew you don't get 15 billion by slinging rum, 'cause I ain't never seen cabbage rum in the club. I'm just saying they share portions of their largest over the years. Anyway, the husband, I'm assuming he sourced the New York Post article, wants us to know that he ain't no average ninja, and she fumbled a bag. And you know what? I gotta agree with this is one of the messiest cheating scandals ever. But she did fumble a bag. And for what? Another woman's man. Oh my God, that he ran and hid and didn't even protect her. But you know what? That's none of my business. But we will be following this story closely. I'll talk to y'all later.